Alright, how is everybody doing, and welcome back to the channel. Now, in today's video, I was going to do a review of Platinum, but I'd rather do a review of Gen 4 in general, but gameplay in the background is from Platinum, and I'm going to be mainly talking about, aspects from Platinum, but it is also Gen 4 as a whole, and I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of the Generation 4 Pokemon. So, yeah, without further ado, guys, let's just go ahead and get the video started. So starting off, I'm going to start off with the cons of Generation 4, and I want to talk about, I guess the least of them all, is the online doesn't work anymore. Now, the reason why this is a con is because with older games, they just take away the Wi-Fi aspect. You can't go online, you can't battle anyone online, nothing like that. And it is an older game, and that's just the sad, just the reality of older Pokemon games. They will eventually shut down the servers. Probably next is going to be Generation 6 with ORAS and, X and Y. So, unfortunately, that is the way the cookie crumbles. But it's not, just exclusive to Gen 4. It's just all the older Pokemon games in general. Pokemon Black and White, you also cannot go online with those games. And it is unfortunate, but that's probably the lowest aspect of the cons on this list. Because, well, I mean, it can't really be helped. But it is something that if you were to buy the games now, if you'd want to go online or anything like that, unfortunately, you just can't. So anyway, that's just number one for the cons, and we're gonna get into number two right now. Alright, and the second con on this list is the amount of HMs there are. Now, back in the day, I don't think people really minded, having Cut and Surf and maybe Rock Smash or anything, but I believe there are 8, different HMs in this game. And luckily, Bidoof can learn a lot of them, but stuff like Fly, you got to teach to your Staraptor or whatever other flying type you have, and it becomes like very crazy on how much you have to basically give other Pokemon in your party these moves that can't be deleted until after you beat the game, and most of them are bad moves. There's only like Surf and Waterfall are really the only good ones. The rest are just kind of weak. They all just kind of suck. And unfortunately, you have to give them to the Pokemon that might matter to you the most. I mean, I remember having to give my Torterra Cut because I don't think Bidoof could learn it or something like that. I remember having to teach my Torterra Cut, and that's actually who I started with my recent playthrough of this game. And just the amount of HMs are crazy. Luckily, in the future generations, Generation 6, 7, and 8, they've kind of cut down on that and tried to move away from HMs, which I'm thankful for. But, with the remakes coming, they're just over the horizon. They're just later this year. Hopefully they incorporate a system like they did with the Generation 7 one where you had Pokemon Ride or whatever. There's just a Pokemon that'll do it for you instead of having to teach one of your own Pokemon the move. So yeah, just HMs, guys. Unfortunately, they're just crazy in this game, and there's no real way to get rid of them. But yeah, that's number two, and we're gonna be talking about number three now. And con number three, guys, is a very personal con. They took out Misdreavus from Platinum. Now, this isn't for Gen 4 as a whole. This is mainly Platinum. That's the one I just recently played through. I don't know what went through their heads. They were like, yeah, let's just take out this ghost type. Like, no, put her back. Put her back in the game. Obviously, it's been over 10 years. They're not going to do that. But unfortunately, you can't catch a Misdreavus anywhere. And so, in Platinum. So, in turn, you can't have a Miss Magius. So that is very unfortunate. But like I said, that's just a personal one, guys. I looked it up. I was like, where can I catch this Pokemon? I can't catch it anywhere. I can't have it on my team at all. So that's unfortunate, but nothing I can do, But anyway, time to go into con number 4. Alright, and for those of you who are fans of Generation 4, you probably saw this one coming, and it doesn't really have to do with Platinum, but it also affects it, is that the games run incredibly slow. Now, the main culprits of this are Diamond and Pearl, but Platinum kind of helped it. It ran a bit faster, but a lot of things that I've been seeing online doing research on this is that it was the first games on the DS, Pokemon games, and that they couldn't properly use the software to their advantage, with games as big as these. So that's the reasoning for them not running as fast, and honestly, it doesn't really bother me because I love these games, but I can see for maybe somebody who's coming from a outside perspective and trying to play an older Pokemon game and say Diamond and Pearl is their first one and it runs as slow as it does, I can see why they'd kind of not want to play anymore. But for somebody like me or other Pokemon fans who love these games, it doesn't really bother us. So yeah, that's pro, or that is con number 4, and we're going to get into the last and final con. And last but not least is the difficulty spike with Cynthia. Now, I have written down right here what level her team was and what level my team was when I finally beat her. It took me about 6 or 7 tries to eventually beat her, but I had my Torterra, level 49, my Star Raptor, level 51, my Luxray, level 45, my Garchomp, level 52, my Floatzel, level 48, and my Tyranitar, which luckily my friend had a copy of Platinum from a long time ago, played it to death, has 999 hours on it, and he traded me a Tyranitar to help me beat the Elite Four, and it still took me 7 tries to actually finally beat her. And she has, you know, her team with a Spiritomb level 58, Togekiss level 60, her Garchomp level 62, Lucario level 60, Melodic level 58, and her Roserade level 58. I mean, even seeing this gameplay, right? It's taken this guy a long time to beat Cynthia. She's just crazy good. And the difficulty spike from even the Elite Four previous, when you're fighting them, their teams, I think the highest level I saw for a Elite Four member was 58, and I think that's the Ghost type one, or the Dark type. Whatever the 4th Elite Four member is, she's reading a book, Psychic. I think she's Psychic. I think the highest was level 58. Cynthia just goes above and beyond, and it's insane on how crazy the difficulty spike is. But though it is a con, that is also something I love about Platinum, or Generation 4 in general, or even the past Pokemon games. Their difficulty makes the champion of the region seem like an actual challenge. Now, once you beat her and everything, then you go and catch Palkia and Dialga. Obviously, they're level 70, so she's kind of fodder at that point. But before you beat the game, it's crazy on how, it's just hard to beat. But that's also something I love. So though it is a con, I enjoyed the fight. I enjoyed having to grind more and more and more and keep fighting the Elite Four to beat Cynthia. So yeah, so it's a con, but it's also in the pros. So count that as the first pro, I guess. And also being the last con, the difficulty spike with Cynthia is crazy, but I love the difficulty spike, and I'm glad she was an actual challenge. Now guys, that's it for the pros, or the cons, my bad. We're gonna get into the pros now. Alright, so pro number 1 is the music. Now, that's kind of a given with Pokemon games. The music is amazing in all of them, but Generation 4 is really when I started to pay attention to the music and how much it affected the gameplay around everything. The gameplay, just going down Route 209 and just hearing that theme, it's just amazing. And it sounds like the 21 Guns theme at the same time, but just listening to soundtracks like that, or Cavalier City, I'm probably saying the name wrong. I've been trying to pronounce it for like 30 minutes. Just Cavalier City, honestly, just amazing. And that's actually the music I used for the outro last video. It's just an amazing song. The song for Spear Pillar, the song going against Cynthia, the Elite Four, just the music of Gen 4 is just breathtaking, and that's actually something I'm really looking forward to with these remakes. The music just being remastered, it's going to be amazing. And yeah, so that's pro number 1, just the music. Like I said, it's kind of a given for Pokemon games in general, but Generation 4 I think has done it the best. Alright, and next on the pro list is the amount of legendaries. So there are quite a few legendaries in this game, 12 in fact, and you know, some people don't consider mythicals to be legendaries, but I grouped them into it. So we have, you know, the Lake Trio with Uxie, Aself, and Mayspirit. We have, you know, Arceus, Giratina, Palkia, and Dialga. We have Heatran and Regigigas. We have Cresselia and Darkrai, and we have Shaman. We have 12 new legendaries in this region. And like I said in one of the previous points, but it was with the cons, is that this game was meant to be the ultimate Pokemon game. I think it was Masuda who said that this game was meant to be the ultimate Pokemon could offer. And obviously we've had generations since, 4 other generations, mind you, so, you know, but it's just crazy to think on how much legendaries they added, and they're some of them are new, kind of like Regigigas, right? He is meant to be the creator of the 3 that we see in Hoenn with Registeel, Regirock, and Regice. He's supposed to be who created them, and it's just, the lore of it is just very cool. I'm glad they put so much effort into making these legendaries, and they're some of the coolest that we've ever gotten. And honestly, I don't think that we've gotten legendaries cooler other than the Hoenn legendaries. Like, I love my Mewtwo and I love my Lugia and Ho-Oh and the dog trio, but when we come to, or the cat trio, but when we come to Hoenn and, you know, Generation 4 Sinnoh, it's kind of hard for me to choose which ones I like more. Do I like Arceus, Giratina, Palkia, and Dialga better? Or do I like Rayquaza, Groudon, and Kyogre better? And I forgot to mention earlier that they also had Latios and Latias, but you know, it's just this generation's legendaries are very cool, and it gives you something to do after the game because you can catch all these legendaries other than Arceus and Darkrai, I believe, or Shaman. They're places that were supposed to have events but never got them, and you can get them with the action replay. But other than that, you can't get them legitimately, unfortunately. But that still leaves you with 9 legendaries to go for. So yeah, you know, pro number 2. Whole bunch of legendaries that are super awesome. Pro number 3, the lore of the Sinnoh region. Now, Arceus from this region is known to be the creator of all Pokemon, potentially God in this universe. And on top of that, we have Giratina, which is basically the Satan of this universe. Giratina is the ruler of the distortion world, and Arceus is the ruler of just the normal world, I guess. Then we have Palkia, the holder of time. That came out wrong. The holder of space, and Dialga, the holder of time. Now, you know, Celebi is a, I guess, time traveling Pokemon, but it's not like Dialga, who is the ruler of time. And in the lore of the region, when you go to, I forgot the town's name, but it's where Cynthia's grandma is at, and she tells you the lore of where you have to go there at the end of the game again to find out how to find the lustrous orb and the other one for Dialga. I don't know the name of it. You have to go to her to have her talk about them, and then you find them in Mount Coronet. So honestly, the lore of the region just adds to how amazing the game just is. It gives you an atmospheric approach to the game. Like, you just know you're in for a surprise. You're in for these juggernauts of Pokemon to fight, and you're going to catch them, and they're going to be your partners. And just that alone is something that I really like about this. Now, something for like Mewtwo, you go into that mansion and you find things about Mewtwo, right? And that's kind of like the same here. Like, you want to know what more happened to Mewtwo. And in this game, you want to know what more happened to, you know, Palkia, Dialga, Giratina, Arceus. And it's just, the lore of the Sinnoh region is amazing. And I also love the weather, like where it's located. It's located in like an upper island of Japan, and it's closer to Russia, and that's why there's so much snow. And I love that about the region. Other people prefer, like, you know, just grass and desert and stuff like that, but I prefer the snow. It's actually snowing outside right now as I speak, and you know, this is just the whole lore. Sorry, I'm like kind of stopping, guys. Just the amount of like effort it took to make this type of story for this game without fully telling the story is just amazing. So yeah, that's why this is pro number 3. And now we're gonna get into the next one. Alright, so another pro of this game is the amount of new evolutions it gave to previous Pokemon. So I'm just gonna list a few off here. I'm gonna mention some pre-evolutions, then some of the evolutions which are my favorite. But you know, there are a lot more. There are actually 26 new Pokemon that are, you know, have been shown in previous iterations of Pokemon, but these are new or lower evolutions. So the pre-evolutions, we have Happiny, Munchlax, Mime Jr., and we also have Budu. So those are the 4, you know, baby evolutions that we've gotten. And sadly, we don't really get these anymore. Pre-evolutions, kind of like we did with Pikachu in I think it was Generation 2, we got Pichu. Like, we don't get these baby evolutions anymore, and I think for some Pokemon that it would be really good, kind of like a Kangaskhan. What if we got a baby evolution of Kangaskhan, and then we'd actually have some way to evolve it instead of having to mega evolve it? It didn't make sense for it to be like a baby. It's baby, you know, but regular Kangaskhan, then, you know, Kangaskhan now, and then Mega Kangaskhan, she pulls the baby. Like, you know what I'm talking about. So there's that. And some of my favorites, guys. So we have Rhyperior, we have Magnetar, we have Electivire, Mismagius, Gliscor, and we have Frostlass and Yanmega. Those are my those are, you know, they had previous evolutions. You know, we have like Snorunt, we have Magmar, Rhydon, Electabuzz, Misdreavus, Gligar. We have those Pokemon, Yanma, we have them. And then in Generation 4, they got evolutions. Roserade is actually one of them. Rosalia actually got 2. She got the baby which was Budu, and then the third evolution, which is Roserade, which is honestly super cool. And I hope they bring it back, but I love these Pokemon. And Dusknoir. I love Dusknoir. You know, Duskull is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, and for him to have an actual third evolution is amazing. I love it, and I hope that they bring this back. I hope that they, you know, with the next generation, whatever that is, hopefully they actually start bringing, you know, older Pokemon, newer evolutions. Like Dunsparce could use one, maybe Drapion could have a third evolution, stuff like that. I just really hope. Togekiss is also another one. It was Togepi, Togetic, and then Togekiss. You know, I love that aspect that they were able to bring older Pokemon, new forms, and basically put them into relevancy again. But yeah, that's pro number, I think this is 3 or 4. I'm not keeping track at this point, but all in all, guys, Generation 4 is amazing, and if any of you watching this video have not played the games, I you know, recommend highly to play Platinum. Platinum is an amazing game. Now, Generation 4 is my favorite generation, but my favorite games are Heart Gold and Soul Silver, or Soul, or Gold or Silver, however you want to say it. I played Crystal, you know, so those are my, you know, favorite games. But generation wise, with Pokemon and lore and all that, it is Generation 4. I love this game to death. This is basically my first Pokemon game. Now, I played other ones in the past, but didn't really know what I was doing. This game is here. I love it. It's amazing. Hopefully I've shown enough facts to prove that it's amazing, and hopefully for those of you, you know, watching this video who haven't played the games, actually try and play the games. But anyway, you guys, that's it for today's video. Next week, I kind of want to do a different type of video that I haven't done, and I'm going to leave that in the back. I'm not going to, you know, tell you guys what it's about just yet, but it has to do with starters, evolutions, and everything like that. And that's the only hint that I'm going to drop right now. But anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, this was a really fun video to make. I can't wait for you guys to see next week's video. And you know, I just got finished playing this game, so I'm actually gonna put up my stats, or not stats, but my first Hall of Fame, how long it took me to beat the game. I think it was around 30 hours and 10 minutes, something like that. And when I went against Cynthia, you guys, I had to literally keep using hyper potions on my Tyranitar until her Groudon ran out, or not Groudon, her Garchomp ran out of Earthquake. I could not deal with it, guys. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and leave us a like and sub if you did. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.